guys, so I literally just recorded a hair video literally before I put this on, and yeah, you know when something's just on your mind, it hasn't been on my mind just now, but I feel as if, let me get behind the lens, as in behind this camera, to voice out what I'm thinking. Yeah, so basically it's in regard to starting something and seeing it into a completion. Obviously sometimes things happen that you're not in control of, basically, but at the same time I feel, you know, like when you have a kind of plan in the long haul, you can do little things each day to try and make that long-term aim manifest, if you get what I mean. I'm going back a couple of years now, and I even remember uploading the video on YouTube. It's still here, you can check it out. It was called Encouragement and Not Giving Up. And the other day, I think it was like two days ago, I was just randomly going through some of my videos on my channel, and I was actually laughing at myself, like, oh my god, I kind of look different. Obviously I've added a little bit of weight, and yeah, I look like much younger than I did in some of those videos back then, but I just smiled because I was like, it's a memory that's there for me to look back on, sort of. So anyway, back to that encouragement video that I put up. At that time I was in my second year of med school, and I was studying, or I had been studying intensely, doing what I could for my final exam in anatomy. But you know, like, it's not the first exam I've had in my life, nor was it the last, but just some way, somehow, you know, at that time, just the studying wasn't going how I wanted it to go, basically. So long story short, going to that exam, I was scared. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Anyone who's not scared going into the anatomy exam, well done to you, but I was scared. Anyway, thank God that it went the way it did, as in, like, I passed. But I remember, like, feeling even to give up before I had even gone. So imagine, like, wanting to give up before you've even gone forth, then at the end, when you've gone through the process, an exam, whatever it may be, and then even like coming out victorious or coming out successful, you're thinking to yourself, why was I even scared in the first place? But to be honest, again, sometimes it's not something you can control. You can't control your feelings, you know. Fast forward 4 years on, having completed the whole process, I mean, of like going through university and finishing, it kind of like spurs me on, and I hope it spurs you on and anybody else that watches this video, like, just to keep moving forward. I'm not even just talking about university, I'm talking about job, I'm talking about your friendships, I'm talking about your relationships, family life, finance, you know. Start something and work at it each day to make it better than it was the previous day. So you're gradually like building, bettering yourself, you know, increasing your knowledge, whether it's in school, whether it's in like extracurricular activities, and just, you know, coming to a point, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, of like re-evaluation. I mean, really re-evaluating yourself, not against your friends, not against your brother or your sister, because they're different to you. Re-evaluating yourself against yourself. I'm not saying don't look up to people, because I think it's good to have people, you know, maybe older than you, or people who may be doing what you aspire to do in the future. I'm not saying don't look up to them, but I think the importance is re-evaluating yourself against yourself, because you're the one that is always you're the one who doesn't change. So it's kind of like, try to be better than you were last year, or next year try to be better than yourself that you are currently. Do you get what I'm saying? If I'm to talk about the whole journey through med school, we would be here for a while, because there are some stories. I don't even mean stories like dramatic events that have happened. I just mean like persevering through in a new environment, persevering through in difficult subjects, persevering, you know. But yeah, the point is just keep it moving. And there's one song or one quote, I should say, which I'm currently keeping close to me, and it's called "I'm still working on my masterpiece." It's been my WhatsApp status for so long, and it's like, yeah, I'm still working on my masterpiece. So what is that masterpiece? You may want to know. That masterpiece that I'm talking about is me, myself, my life, you know, working on it in a way that, or in a sense that, you're trying to improve yourself daily, monthly, yearly. Like your life being this masterpiece and you working on it. Any successful person in any area of life has had to work hard. They've had to work to get where they were. Do you think that any little setback they had, they stayed low? No, because if they had a setback and if they stayed low, they would still be on the ground. Any person who is successful, or any person who is even doing well, they've had to work hard. Okay, for sure, many people may be born into wealth or born into like a way of life that sets them on the path to like have a good life, but many people, they've had to work for it. And come on, you can't be lazy. You have to go out and get what you want, you know? If I was to if someone was to come to me and say, what are my thoughts on going abroad to study? For sure, I would advise it. I would advise it 100%. Why? Because it gives you a chance to grow as a person away from anything you're familiar with, as in like away from your family, away from the people who you were closest with, your friends, away from your familiar settings like your church. If you were involved in church before, or for example you were used to every Sunday going to church with your family, which I was, it kind of put me in a different setting, like having to not discover yourself, but having to find yourself for yourself. Or do research into the country that you're thinking to go to, or you're thinking to settle down in. Find out what it's like. Even visit it if you can. Like visit where you intend to stay, just to kind of have like a feel of what it would be like to live. Ask people around, join forums online, do many things. And even if you can't and you just find yourself going there and finding out what life is like there, make the most of it. Literally make the most of it. I don't regret going abroad. I think it was a great experience for me. At the same time, I would say know yourself. If you know yourself, obviously, like as a young adult teenager, I was a teenager when I went to uni. It's kind of like if I was a parent and I knew my child was a bit reckless, let's say, I wouldn't let them go abroad. I'll keep them right under my nose where I can observe their activities and what they're up to. No, as a parent, if your child came to you and with the idea of like going abroad or something, I would encourage it, because like I said, it's a period of growth, it's a period of independence. So I think I'm getting to the end of what I wanted to say. To highlight, I literally just wanted to talk about not giving up, number one. Secondly, I wanted to highlight the importance of a plan, not even a plan short term, a plan long term, because it gives you something to work towards. The importance of making the most of your situation that you are now, wherever you find yourself, like I said before, school, work, where you find yourself, and the importance of self-improvement, improving in wisdom, improving in knowledge, improving in spirituality, just improving daily, like, so you are now blessed to bless others, you know. So guys, yeah, like I said, I was just trying to release a bit of what was on my mind, and yeah, so until next time.